Happy day 7, Flossmas Vlogmas countdown. Today's card of the day. Are you ready? Look at this. Ready for a skate. The floss of the day, oops, you're seeing a little bit of my stitching there. Floss of the day is this beautiful Rise and Pine. Sorry, the lighting in my kitchen is quite yellow. So, are you ready for the stitching reveal? It's another nice simple day today, and we added in our greenery into the corners. All 4 corners were exactly the same. I did have to, I think I had to restitch this one a few times. I just made some silly counting errors, but it's all fixed. Make sure that your leaves, just double check that all of the leaves, see how they're 2 stitches away from the border here? You've got 2 full X's in between. Just double check that those are all correct. Yeah, and they should line up with the edge of that inner border there. So I did, because you see what happened is that floss, it blends in with the border stitching, and so I miscounted when I was going up and I started the leaves a little too high. So just double check that your counting is correct and all 4 of them match, and that's it. So I was asked in the comments today about how best to use the floss from the floss card, and normally I remember to show this close to the beginning of Flossmas because this is we have many stitchers participating in this project, and some of you it's actually really wonderful. Some of you, this is your first time using hand-dyed floss, and so we really appreciate that that this is your first experience with it. So if you've never used carded floss that comes like this, you can see that I am leaving my floss on the card. And what I do is when I have a new skein of floss, you want to cut through all of the loops that are at the bottom. And so what that does is that it then pre-cuts your floss into about 15 or 16 inch lengths. And then what you're left with, all of your floss is remaining on the card, and you've got this little knot here at the top. And all you need to do, if you're using 1 strand of floss, I take my needle and I separate out 1 strand. Just use your needle and you just pull it out, and there's your length of floss. And then I always like to tidy the floss back up again, because sometimes little bits and the strands get out of whack there. So that's for 1 strand. You just pull 1 out. If you are stitching with 2 strands of floss, you're going to look for the group of 6. Find your group of 6, and you are just going to pull that whole thing right out like that, tidy up, and then you now have a group of 6 cut to length perfectly. So then you're going to remove, just like you would do with regular floss on a skein like DMC, and you've cut your length, it's exactly the same. You're going to pull your 2 strands out one at a time, line them up, and then you have this leftover. You'll have 4 strands left. So a couple ways you can handle your leftover. What I like to do is I love using thread beds. This is my thread bed for my Quintessential Frisian Smalls project. So you can see I have my leftover floss here. And then at the end of my stitching session, I just close it up and it's good to go, because of course the floss sticks to the felt, keeps it safe. So I will have several projects that each have their own thread bed. So yeah, I just would use my, roll it up in a neat little round, stick it in the thread bed, good to go. The other option is you can just put your leftover strands right back on the card. Some people will punch an extra little hole in their card and then they'll use that for their leftover strands. I simply just will put it back on. That's it. That's all you need to do. Easy peasy. Well, a little update. It's a little later in the day. I have finished my countdown stitching, which I will have already posted. There's Roxy. Big stretch. I will have already posted all about the day 7 stitching at the beginning of this video. I'm feeling another little headache coming on, so I think I'm just gonna take the rest of the day really easy. It's probably just, you know, it's probably just hormonal, I'm suspecting. So I don't have a scratchy throat or anything like that. I don't think I'm getting sick. I do have a few other bits of stitching that I would like to get to today, but I think I'm just gonna relax, drink some tea, maybe take Roxy for another little walk later this afternoon, and sit in my cozy stitching chair with maybe even a book today. I don't know. I'm feeling a little out of sorts, and it's probably just my head. So I'll check in later, and if I don't, I'll see you tomorrow.